Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome everyone here to the State of Synth. My name is Dennis G.
And I'm Neon Fox.
Hello, Mr. Neon Fox. It's another week. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. You know what today is, right, Jules?
Taco Tuesday?
You absolutely are correct, sir. It is indeed Taco Tuesday. See, you knew what I was coming down.
It's not a thing
with.
for us Canadians.
It's not.
We know you Americans and your Tuesdays.
Yeah. Well, what do you do tacos on? Is it like Wednesdays or
tacos any day of the week?
Really?
Yeah.
See, America. We just have our way of doing things, we just kind of, we have set that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know where Taco Tuesday came from. I think it's just the fact that it just rolls off the tongue. So you could say it very quickly.
You have like a chain or
easily.
something that had like discounts on a Tuesday.
Do we? I don't know.
Yeah.
The only place I know of is Taco Bell, and I wouldn't really call that
it's
restaurant.
Stuff.
Yeah, they just put some, I think it's meat they put in the thing and
it's taco-ish.
It's taco-ish, yeah, it's taco flavored stuff with cheese and apparently potatoes because, potatoes were big in Mexico. Yeah, it's still good, it's a tasty treat, the great thing about Taco Bell is they're open till like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, which is nice. Now, of course, I want to mention our very special guest. We have Full Eclipse. Ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for Mike. Full Eclipse.
Hi, Mike.
I think I made a mistake, and I used your name before asking if we could use your name.
Should we call you, okay. You want to be called Mike or Mr. Eclipse or?
Either or. I'd prefer Mike. Mike sounds great. Being called the artist name, that only works when you're not talking to people face to face. It gets weird when it's face to face, I think, or person to person, yeah?
Yeah.
But, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Very much. Yeah,
Thank you. And by the way, I want to remind everyone we are live streaming to YouTube and, of course, the nightride.fm website.
Yes.
So we have the IRC chat. Doesn't matter where you are. If you're listening, pop into the chats and say hi. We like shouting out names because we are live.
We are indeed. We are indeed live. We were going to prove it right now by saying some random names into the microphones.
Here we go. All right. So we got some friends from down under. We got Craig Packman and Dave 808 Turner who have tuned in.
Our Aussie
We've
friends.
also got Adam Morgan over in the YouTubes who's joined us.
Oh.
Welcome back, Adam.
Very nice.
And who else? We got Distarian all the way from Poland.
Good old Distarian. Where will we be without
I know. We're gonna hear a Polish artist a little bit later in the show.
That's true. Yeah, we are a worldwide product, Jules. We're global.
We've also got Mr. 3, who's in the IRC.
Hey, Mr. 3.
Johnny 5 has joined us. He's alive.
Very good.
And Aero Team has joined us as well. Welcome back.
Very nice.
Oh, somebody popped in and said Taco Bell rules.
Taco Bell. I love my system. Taco Bell. Now, are you a hard shell guy or a soft shell guy, Jules?
I'm a hard shell guy. What about you, Mike?
Yeah.
Absolutely hard shell, and I had some this week for the first time in months, and it just renewed my enthusiasm for the taco, specifically the hard shell taco.
Fantastic.
All the way. Yep.
All right, so I think we should just go ahead and get things started with a little track. What do you think, Mr. Jules?
I think so.
All right.
Let's kick things off with a song from UK artist Jimmy Synthetic's latest Top Gun-inspired EP, Heatseeker. This is the first track on the album, Air Supremacy, right here on Nightride FM.
And that was what is it? Jimmy Synthetic. I can't see anymore, Jules. I'm losing my
We're gonna have to
vision.
get your binoculars.
Oh my god, I can't see, I can't read, I can't talk. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore.
That track, by the way, was awesome. It was like serious Top Gun.
It totally
Deals.
was. It was called
Adam's like Iron Eagle.
Air Supremacy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we're all about the drive and rock, and of course we are here with Full Eclipse. And speaking of like driving rock, like I really love the unique sound of your music, man.
Thank you very much.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, I love making it. Some of the music I make is definitely pretty down tempo, but on this particular album, the newest one, I tried for a couple more up tempo tracks, and I really liked making them. So hell, more to come.
Now I gotta kick things off with a question. How
Sure,
did you come up with your artist name?
You know what, man? My first foray into making music that was kind of like retro synth was with Mike Mendoza of Retro Promenade. It was for one of his many compilation albums.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And it was for specifically the Twin Peaks album, the first one. And I just needed an artist name, and I thought of I love like the moon for some reason. I've always been kind of fascinated by the moon. And I also love werewolves, and I love werewolf movies. And I just thought of one. It wasn't even a particularly good one. It was just the one that came to mind, and it was Full Eclipse from the 90s, I think 93 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't seem to be taken, so I just threw that on the song as the title of the artist. Yeah,
that's amazing. I wonder if you can use like ChatGPT now to like come up with names, but also like be like, it'll like do the Googling itself. It'll be like, all right, come up with 15 synthwave names, not too cliche, and make sure none of them belong to another artist. And then it'll just spit it out. Because that's the hardest part. Thinking of the name isn't really tough for me of, whatever it is I'm thinking of.
You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
There's that artist Karen's played a few tracks on our show, Die Miami Guy.
Yeah.
And he's got a couple of tracks, and he basically it's like he went and asked ChatGPT for every synthwave term you can come up with. So he's got one track name. It's called Electric Neon Miami Midnight Night City Neon Dream Sky Cruise Drive.
Yeah.
And then a newer one called Palms and Sunsets and Highway in 1984 Ocean Poolside Pool Lights 87 and whatever else.
Well, I'm sold. I can't wait to hear these tracks, man. 'Cause that's selling it on me. That sounds hilarious.
I got a good giggle out of poor Karen having to
I think he just
track names on air over and over again.
He just tortures her. I think that's what it is. He just likes to torture her, and she's a sport for it. So I think she feeds in and he feeds in, and everyone's feeding, and you come up with some really long ass names that no one can say, especially
me. Some quick shout outs. Chris Petsavis is in the IRC chat, as well as Bending Grid has joined us.
Hey, there he is.
Isle 9 has joined us all the way from the UK. We're going to play a track of his a little bit later on. And Lord Pigger is in the house.
Lord Pigger! I love Lord Pigger. In fact, we promised to have Lord Pigger on a show, and me and Hannah kind of went on hiatus. She's going through some stuff, and people know she's going through some stuff, and we're going to get there, man. We're going to get there. We're going to have Lord Pigger on. He's going to talk about being a Lord Pigger, because he's legit. He's legit, awesome. Lord Pigger. It's. I think that's part of what he does for a living. He's. I don't know. He'll tell you what he does. But he's a fascinating guy, and
Heyo.
We'll get there.
So Mike.
Yes.
So there's something happening in April.
What's happening?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, it depends on where you're at, but we're lucky enough, Jules, to be bearing witness. We got the Full Eclipse happening, so
there you go. In April.
Exciting times in Toronto. Yeah.
So apparently, if you drive down to, there's a little island just south of us where you get like the full eclipse.
Full eclipse.
Apparently, it's bed and breakfasts are all booked up and everything. So
I've heard that. Yeah, there's like a huge tourist drive.
Yeah.
Now, what we need to do, you need to do a concert right in the
Boy,
middle
dude, yeah.
of the full eclipse.
You should have released your album in April.
I was wondering if I should do that. I'm actually contemplating some kind of sort of cheesy raffle or draw or something like that. Like
Do it.
I've got some T-shirts, as you know, and I also have some tapes. So I was gonna like do a like check out my album and you could win kind of thing. But yeah, so that's my plan. So yeah, I'm probably gonna commit to it now that I've kind of said it now.
There,
So, yeah.
You said it on the air. You're committed.
Yep.
That's
It's real.
It's the real
But
deal.
no, I'm excited. It's going to be a cool phenomenon. A lot of people will be able to see it, but kind of in an arcing line across North America, and we're the lucky ones, Jules. We get to see most of it, like 90-something% of it. So that's
Like
good.
it crosses a little bit.
Do we get to see it?
No. So unfortunately for you,
Why
Dennis,
can't we see it?
So it's crossing north of Montreal, going downwards over Toronto, over like something in Lake Ontario, or Lake Erie or something, and then it's gonna go sort of down through the Midwest as it works its way west.
Oh my god.
So it's kind of like this downward east to west arc.
Are you serious? Are you making that up?
No,
You've been doing your homework, Jules.
It's all. I open up my phone, I look at the news tiles. And
He
it's
knows
everything
like
you
the
see.
perfect path.
Where to go see the eclipse? Where's the best place to look at it?
It's gonna
Where-
cut right across Tim Hortons all the way down. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Where to get free glasses to watch it?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I always like that when you get the free glasses and you got to wear don't they have like pinholes in them or something like that? I forget.
Yeah, and they're super dark. Like you can't see. The only thing you can
Yeah.
see with them is the sun, and you can't see shit otherwise. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're so
they're cool.
great.
I got a pair from some friends of mine that live in Ottawa, and they live near the Royal Astronomical Society or something like that. So yeah, I got a couple pairs.
Wow.
Excited.
We had one.
Of course you would. You're full
Well,
eclipse.
yeah. Oh, of course, yeah. Like, gotta live up to my namesake, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should totally go out, like, you know how, like, when people go out to perform, they have, like, the neon sunglasses, or they have, some of them are, like...
Eclipse glasses.
Yeah, but...
I was thinking of dressing up like Mac tonight, actually. So.
Ooh.
No, not really. No, that's, I love the character, but no, there's no way I could handle wearing a suit like that.
That would be wicked. So, all right, so that's good to know, science and all. So it's a very doubled up thing, talking about full eclipse with full eclipse, and that's just
It's so meta.
It's so meta,
Yeah,
man. But this is awesome. Like I said, we love your stuff. The stuff that you do, it is very reminiscent to me, and I wanted to ask this to you, and I think you already answered my question because you did mention Twin Peaks, so you're kind of like you dig that kind of like the moody kind of vibe, it seems.
Yeah.
And one of the things that it really reminds me of is I would say Pink Floyd, but of a certain era, and we're talking David Gilmour's Pink Floyd, not Roger Waters' Pink Floyd.
Momentary Lapse of Reason is probably one of my very favorite albums of all time.
My God, you nailed it. That's
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. I can't escape that influence. It's just too important to me. I'm a big fan of that album. A lot of people think it's just, man, that's not Floyd, or man, it's kind of cheesy, but that album just spoke to me.
Well,
so
here's the thing.
I'm a hopeless devotee. Absolutely.
It's Pink Floyd, but you're getting two flavors of Pink Floyd. You get your Roger Waters, and then you get your David Gilmour. Anybody that doesn't listen to Pink Floyd, just stop listening to this show. No, just kidding. We're gonna educate you on some Pink Floyd, because that was one of my favorite albums, and the Division Bell, and it was the later, I would say later 80s, early 90s stuff, and they were kind of in their latter years. Like, they started off making like really instrumental, almost like synthwave, but to psychedelic rock. Like, they would just put out like soundtrack music, and that's what they started out making, soundtrack music with no lyrics, right? Sounds like something else we know. And then they started adding vocals, and then Roger Waters did his thing, and of course The Wall was like the big thing. That was all Roger Waters, like big time. And then Dark Side of the Moon, which I think it was kind of a mix, but you get a lot more of the David Gilmour stuff. Like, to me, I'm a huge Dave, because he's all about the grandiose, like very, he always has gospel singers in the background, and like that's like the stuff. Yeah. It's majestic, and it's just like, it's there, and it's electrifying, and
very dramatic. Absolutely.
Very dramatic. I liked Roger Waters back in the day. I think I kind of grew out of Roger Waters because at this point I just feel like he likes to complain a lot, but now I'm going to get letters.
Anyway, have you guys have heard the cover of Another Brick in the Wall by Fury Weekend, right?
I have not. We should play that on the show.
Next time you're playing like to a club or people who want like a classic, but you want to deliver like a good synthwave banger version of it.
Yes.
It's a cool
Fury
cover,
Weekend.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right,
brick in the wall.
so we're gonna do that. We're actually, you know what we're gonna do? I just made this up in my head. We're gonna have an entire. What did you say?
What?
Pink Floyd? Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking Pink Floyd, and I'm thinking like David Lynch and Twin Peaks and stuff like that. Like we should do like a whole like Pink Floyd kind of thing, and like all the songs and like all the artists that are inspired by Pink Floyd, and just we'll bring Mike back, and
super cool.
We'll just we'll rock out on some Fury Weekend. But also I want to do a David Lynch, because I know David Lynch.
Oh man,
Twin Peaks, like that's another like just cult.
Dennis, I can't tell you how many cups of coffee in my life, and this one is the best.
You have to like Twin Peaks.
Cup of coffee,
that's like right, that's in your area. Well, although I guess that's more over like near Seattle.
Yeah, that's Pacific Northwest.
But it's still like in Canada and whatnot. I just treat you guys all the same, pretty much.
It's very arboreal, or boreal, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, boreal.
It's boreal cinematic synth or something like that. It's like another subgenre.
All right, so
I love Floyd. All right, sorry. I love Floyd. I love Lynch, and this is a great conversation. But I will shut up to let you continue.
No. I could talk about it all day long. In fact, I would love to. But yeah, we have this show that deals with synthwave music and stuff.
All right,
let's just talk about Floyd.
Okay, so we're gonna let's kick something off with a track from your new album, In Place of Power, which released on February 9th on Business Casual Records. We'll play this track called Reeling, and then when we come back, you can tell us a little bit about the album and about this track and so on.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
All right. Well, from the album In Place of Power, this is Full Eclipse with Reeling, right here on Night Ride FM.
False glasses blur the
And that was Reeling by Full Eclipse. I love that sound, man.
Mike, hang on.
Thank you.
Vocals? What is this?
What?
I didn't know you did vocals.
Yeah, they're all over the album, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know I did vocals either, really. So yeah, yeah. I'm trying. I'm trying to push my boundaries a bit. So thank you.
Okay, because I mean, I've got just a few tracks of yours, and I don't remember any vocals before. Is this the first time?
No. There's a smattering of vocal tracks on the last album, Former Selves. But that was that was literally 5 years ago, man. So
okay.
That album might as well not even exist anymore. You know, Christ. But I tried to work. I had a lot to say, man. It's been a long couple of years for pretty much everyone in the world. So I had a lot of things to say and a lot of emotions I need to get out. I wanted to get out, and I figured I'd and I love writing. I love reading. I love writing, and I love poetry in all of its formats, whether it's in lyricism or if it's on the page. But I've been trying to push myself lyrically and vocally now too. So yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Your stuff. It reminds me of another artist that we had on the show recently. Jules, do you hear a little Brother Tiger in there for some reason?
I do.
I hear just a little.
It's got that 80s.
Yeah. The lamenting 80s kind of. It's.
Wait till we get to the third track of yours we're gonna play tonight, which is Current Sky. I swear to God, it reminds me of George Michael. One More Try.
Oh yeah,
nice.
It does. Even rhymes. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, shit. I actually I'd love to compare them actually because I'm a huge fan of that song, so that might have been like an inadvertent steal. Yeah. But big fan of GM, and I love that track. It's one of the finest slow jams to come out of the '80s. One of the finest kind of ballads.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great track.
Stealing's okay. I mean, look at Cat Temper. He did an homage to every single song from Duran Duran, and he just pulls it off with elegance. Yeah. But it's a fine line between homage and just blatantly ripping artists off. And I'm saying this in meaning that he is not blatantly ripping anybody off, because I love Cat Temper. We were just talking all good things about Cat Temper, and it's such a wonderful homage. And I think the reason why I said that was I think he had something on Twitter where he had to answer for the album cover, and he's like, somebody just didn't get it. You know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, you're just ripping off Van Halen. Oh, look, it's an exact copy."
I saw that. That was just
he's like that's the point.
It was beneath him to have to explain that shit. That was ridiculous.
It wasn't even worth a response.
Well,
but
when you got Duran giving you props for
you don't really have to explain your art.
Right. Yeah.
So mad respect to Cat Temper. We love all his stuff.
So let's get back to this. Your album In Place of Power, which you dropped on Business Casual.
Yes.
Business Casual.
So how long has that been in the works?
Oh, I off and on probably since maybe a year after Former Selves. So since 2000, I'd say since 2019. So quite a few years. A lot changed in the world and also in my life, I guess in everyone's lives. And I had a lot of starts, a lot of stops, a lot of moments of frustration where I just kind of couldn't work on music, couldn't work on writing vocals, lyrics, music, anything like that. Just had to focus on other things. Life was getting in the way.
Yeah.
But that was like a 4+ year endeavor, and I'm so glad to finally get it out, and I'm pretty proud of the results. I'm really glad. I pushed myself a hell of a lot, and I'm just so glad to have it out there, because I mean every word I'm saying, and it means a lot to me.
Is there a particular theme to the album?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first album, the first full length, Former Selves, had a lot to do with just matters of identity and, I don't know, difficulty in this current world we live in, that people have expressing themselves and being who they want to be, being who they are. But In Place of Power kind of moves on a parallel line, but has more to do with the fact that people are really feeling very powerless, and they have every right to feel that way because there's a lot of instances where they are powerless.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of an exploration of what we do when we are powerless and how we try and compensate, or how we try and explore other alternatives to try and seek some power for ourselves, our own autonomy, just trying to gain some kind of, initiative and agency in our own lives to try and deal with the fact that unfortunately there's not a lot of power to be had, a lot of personal power,
Yep.
That's
a
true.
bottle of Jameson usually fixes that.
Yeah, temporary
right up.
Yeah,
get lots of
power dynamics mostly. Yeah.
I've got to throw some shout outs here because we've just been joined by somebody all the way from Dubai.
What?
Jetfire Prime is in the house.
Dubai.
Oh
that's
man,
amazing.
right on.
Yeah.
I forgot he
moved
lived there. That's right on. Hello. Hey,
And
Jetfire.
Art the Brawler is in the house, as well as
Art the
Rex
Hey.
Balls.
Yes, very good.
And
Cool.
Heya.
Hey,
I'm gonna shout out Heya again because until they change their nick.
I like Hey. I think they should just stick with that. I think it's a fun thing
I
to
dig
say. Hey,
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean,
That's like
maybe it
the
was
memories
intentional.
of a pre-pandemic time when Hey Ya was like a big hit.
Oh,
Wasn't
that's
that a
too,
single?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the jam. That was like
Yeah.
I
It's a
still
feel-good
jam.
song.
Oh, such a feel good song.
Yeah, that was Outcast, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
That was
And the world could use more feel-good songs. Unfortunately, I don't have too many of those on my album, but there is there is a lot of like kind of optimism, but it's kind of buried underneath some struggle too.
yeah,
Wow, yeah.
of course.
Yeah, full Eclipse. Synth pop, you are not.
Although I do love a good hook. Unfortunately, my lyrics are pretty fucking sour.
yeah.
Wait, who is it? We were talking to one artist where their lyrics are very uppity, but the vocals are very uppity, but if you listen to the actual lyrics, it's more morbid, like totally morbid.
I kind of like that.
Well, that's
I
like
like
the-
it when people can kind of blend the ups and the downs a little bit. I try and do that myself.
That's like
cool.
to me like
I want
they
to know
might
who
be
this is because I'd love to hear what they're saying, what they're doing.
They Might Be
Yeah.
Giants had like the perfection of that art where he could
Oh,
be
yeah.
singing the most depressing song about existential life crisis and he's going to die and there's like slide whistles in the back. It's like,
I really like that. The did that too. If you know the band, yeah, they super kind of poppy compositions. But my God, that guy was going through an existential crisis and a half. Man.
Yeah, it's good to it's what's that word? Dichotomy? Is that a right word? I don't know.
I think so, sort of, yeah.
Dichotomy, yeah.
Yeah, it's the juxtaposition. I'm breaking out all my
Absolutely.
quarter words, whether or not they make sense or not. I'm just using them.
I'm feeling it. Absolutely, man.
But I do. I
On
love
your
that.
album,
Yes.
you've also got some collaborations going on because there are tracks in there with saxophone
Yeah.
and
Toronto's finest.
yeah. Oh, Michael
Mike-
Stewart.
Michael W. Stewart, yeah, great tenor player. I think he plays every saxophone there is, and on top of that, I think he plays some other brass instruments, horns. But no, great player. He's a local guy, and he's very close to me. So he I don't know. He's nice enough to offer his skills to my work, and he's done it ever since that first song I was referring to earlier, the Twin Peaks thing with Mike Mendoza and Retro Promenade.
Oh, right.
That first song, it's Audrey's Dance from the Twin Peaks score or soundtrack. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, that's Michael W. Stewart on sax on that one too. Yeah. So he's been with me since the inception of the Full Eclipse from its very origins. Yeah.
I'm really liking this Twin Peaks episode idea.
Oh yeah.
So, all right,
about
anybody
it
out
for
there,
hours.
if you're listening on Spotify or if you're listening on YouTube or wherever it is you're tuning in, or in the IRC, if you think the idea of a Twin Peaks themed show, Jules, I don't even know if you like Twin Peaks or not, but I do, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I don't go around quoting coffee for no reason.
My favorite is the chewing gum you like is going to come back in style. Like that's my favorite. Twin Peaks from the Twin Peaks Return. The
yes.
the 16
What a
episode.
return it was.
It was completely
Wasn't that like
batshit crazy.
2016 or something? That it
Yeah.
came out?
Yeah. Oh
And
man.
I just
So
did,
good.
like they just like gave David Lynch, they just gave, like, they said, just do you, and it was like 100%
Because
pure.
after that disaster of a second season,
It was uncut Lynch, like just pure. Like you slice that stuff up and get your mirror and straw and just like,
Yeah, it was great. It was the best shit I've sampled in a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was indeed the good stuff. But yeah, I think that will be totally cool. We're looking for ideas all the time on this show, just to keep it fresh, because, I mean, of course we do love the guests that we have on and the conversations that we do have. It's good to mix it around a little bit and kind of spice it up a little bit. I liked when we did our little French Touch episode. If you have any ideas, even if it's not a Twin Peaks episode, shoot some ideas out. Let us know if there's something that you guys are fiending on or want to have us go into, and I don't know, maybe we'll do like a dark synth themed episode or something like that. I don't know.
Something
Sounds
tricky.
great.
By the way, quick shout out to 01IA1.
Yes.
Join us in the chat.
Excellent.
I'm always wondering if I'm doing that right. It's got to be like some sort of a.
It's
I'm reading it wrong.
Lead
I know
speak.
I'm reading it wrong.
Lead speak, right?
Yeah, it's lead speak.
Yeah. So
I suck at that.
We'll
Anyways,
decipher it.
Time for another song.
Time for another song.
All right. So, Mike, we're gonna play. I think this is one of the few instrumentals on the album, Gemstone and Vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Want to tell us anything about it?
Yes. Okay. I'm like, is this boring? Is this gonna be a real boring anecdote?
No.
Okay, I'll try and keep it quick. So, kind of a weird kind of centerpiece song was "Witness Us," which I've been working on with a dear friend of mine who used to actually be known as and sorry, I'm leaning into the mic again. I'm doing my gather round, friends. I'll tell you a tale. I hope I'm not distorting too bad. Anyway, my good friend Ryan is the vocalist for "Witness Us," and he's worked with me on a couple tracks, including a song called "Gray" and another song called what was it? Oh, "Teeth" off of my first album. And he's a dear friend of mine. I see him about once a week, and we hang out. We've played music together in rock bands, and we've written a bunch of like rock music together and played it live on stage. Anyway, he's a great vocalist and a great musician and a great guy. He and I have been toying with "Witness Us" for a long time, to the point where we're kind of sick of it. But we like the end results. We just don't want to hear it again. But that song had an introductory song called on the album. It's called, I think it's track 6 or 7. It's called "True Looking Glass." And that kind of segues into "Witness Us," which is where Ryan shines with his great vocals and his awesome lyrics. And then we come down out of that track with "Gemstone and Vision," which is kind of, I think it's in the same key. It's not very similar in terms of its, instrumentation, but kind of like it's just kind of a nice kind of come down track out of it. So it's kind of like there's part 1, that's "True Looking Glass," the introduction, and then the big meaty song, "Witness Us," and then the come down track, which is "Gemstone and Vision."
You know what that reminds me of?
It's like a triptych, 3 parts.
It's your version of "Dark Side of the Moon's" ending track, "Any Color You Like." That's the come down.
What a great song!
Dark
thank
Side.
you. That's like a ridiculously incredible compliment.
I mean, just the way you described that. I haven't heard the song yet. I can't really say. I'm sure it's fine.
That's cool you to say though. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's a good track. Floyd is not. So Floyd, I wish it was, but Floyd is not.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite. That whole ending, and I like the fact that one song will roll right into the next song, which rolls right into the next song, and you get this big finale at the end. This just ties up the entire thing. So
I like that. I love a good concept album, and Floyd did them better than pretty much anybody.
Beautifully, for sure. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give this a spin. Jules, do you want to go ahead and set this up, my friend?
By the way, shout out to somebody who joined the chat, Neon Cox.
Hey, Neon Cox.
Hey there.
Is that like Nightcock? I don't know.
Anyways, here we are. From the album "In Place of Power," which was released on Business Casual Records. This is full Eclipse with "Gemstone and Vision," right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Gem, Stone, and Vision by Full Eclipse. It's so
chill, relaxing.
It's just like smooth like a baby's bottom.
All right.
I love it.
So, Mike, I gotta ask. So, when you sit down in front of your computer, right, and you launch
Jules
something. You launch. What is
Firefox?
it? You launch. No. The stuff that you use to make your music. You launch something, right?
I launched Cubase.
Yeah.
Which is not a very popular recording interface or like what do they call them? DAW, digital audio workstation.
I like,
but that's what I use. Yeah.
Cubase is a cool thing to say. Like, I don't know.
I like it. Yeah.
I don't know anything about dolls, although I know that I do use like the free version of what is it, Dad?
Reason Reaper.
Reaper. Yeah. I use because I ain't got no money, and I'm certainly not a producer. I used to we used to do skits on the show, and they may or may not come back. But when we did them, I just fired up the old Reaper, and I thought I was hot shit with my Reaper. I was just
good program,
doing my thing, and I know a couple artists, really well-known artists. Turbo Knight, for example, uses Reaper, and he's one of my favorite guys musically.
Awesome.
Mike, you sit down, you launch a DAW. Like, do you have an idea of what you're gonna make, or do you start noodling around with synths, sounds, and stuff? And
yeah, usually there's like patches that I really like, but I'll either have a sound in mind that I want to transfer or translate onto into a recording, or I'll actually often with my phone I'll have a melody in mind,
and you'll
or a lyric or something like that, and I'll just hum it. I'll have a little recording program, and then I'll just try and translate that afterwards into a more legitimate sound that is actually sounds good, instead of me warbling into a crappy phone mic. Exactly. Oh man. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Totally.
So our buddy down under, Dave 808 Turner, wants to know, what's your favorite VST?
You know what? Jeez. Honestly, like, all of my VSTs are really old, and I got a lot of them from like the bedroom producer, like free VST.
Yeah.
Like, I don't buy VSTs. I don't own any modern ones.
Well, you don't want to spend $500, $1,000 on a VST?
Come on now. I thought you called yourself a producer.
I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. I am one of those people that unfortunately is like being left in the past by the future. I'm those like non-tech savvy person to ever like make some futuristic sounding music. And
well, that's what I was about to say. You're making
pathetic,
electronic music. How is this possible?
Right?
I know. No, it's shameful. Like Jules, I made that reference to Firefox just a moment ago, and that's because Jules and I had a hell of a time trying to figure out how I could be on the show, because I was using incompatible software, and it was just an absolute gong show.
You're like
because I'm
paradox.
a Luddite. I'm the most non-tech savvy person, and I'm not saying that with pride or smugness. It's a terrible thing, and I'm kind of just owning up to it because it needs to change. So yeah, I don't have any fancy VSTs. I'd love for other producers, like local guys, Toronto people, to come over to my place, and I will provide the beer or whatever they drink. We got lots of delicious fruit juices and stuff too. But they can maybe teach me how to do things like upgrade my system, or even like how to program like MIDI, and just the most basic stuff that I should know how to do, but I just don't. Like, most of my instrumentation on all my albums is just like hand played. It's not even quantized. It's not like anything. It's just hilarious. But it's just kind of like, I'm a rocker, like by trade and by birth. Like, so
that's what I'm
more comfortable like with amplifiers and like my buddies like in a basement or a garage, or on a small soundstage, at a bar.
I think for your sound too, it's it lends itself to because Pink Floyd wasn't like gating their snare and 808ing their drums and stuff like that. It was all live percussion and
very
keys
very analog, and totally and not really programmed. And that's sort of me too. Although I'd love to learn all these things, I just don't have the time. I mean, life is so busy,
We're gonna get you doing an Outrun album. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna send Turbo Knight over, and you guys
save me from myself, Turbo Knight.
That would be something. Full Eclipse goes Outrun. What's the inverse of a full eclipse? Full on sun. Full on.
I don't know. I think of a lunar eclipse when I think of Full Eclipse, the band, but a solar eclipse would maybe be.
Ooh.
I don't know. Is that the opposite? I don't even know.
Maybe.
I should know.
Yeah. We need some scientists to tell us all about that. Any scientists,
Absolutely.
Give us a shout. Let us know the name of Mike's alternate Outrun band. It's going to be something.
Solar eclipse.
It's going to be amazing. We're going to have such a good time.
It would have to be.
Solar flare. I don't know. Yeah.
So
hang on. Wait. Somebody remind me. So a lunar eclipse is when the moon is between us and the sun, and we get that little halo, which is basically what a full eclipse is, right?
Yes.
And a solar eclipse is when we're between
the sun and the moon.
Yeah.
Right. So then what happens to the moon? It just goes black?
Disappears. And it appears on some other alternate universe. Speaking of great shows, have you guys seen Constellation?
No, you mentioned it last week.
I'm going to mention this every week until it just becomes like the most popular show in synthwave. It involves like alternate universes and astronauts, and that's all I'll say. It's like a lot of like very not sci-fi, like hard science. Jules, you know that I'm quite a fan of my hard science, and they go into like a lot of like scientific principles. They go into like Schrodinger's cat, and they go into quantum stuff, quantum stuff. And what is it, like the two particles,
stuff.
The particles that are entanglement, quantum entanglement. Yes.
Wild. All right.
It's some freaky ass stuff, and check it out.
You know the Chinese are already doing that for encryption.
Quantum entanglement?
Yeah.
But no, that's what?
Wow.
No, it's Dennis. It's real. We've entangled particles.
What?
Yeah. Just not cheap to mass produce, but it's like the next best thing for encryption and stuff.
All right, you're blowing my mind right now. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, that's just some crazy ass stuff. See, that's the stuff I love.
You gotta subscribe to your tech blogs and stuff.
I guess I do. Do they still do blogs? Tech blogs? I guess they do. All those guys they're all old school, people.
Oh, okay. So
got
Earl
flip
has
phones
corrected us. Earl in the chat, by the way. Shout out to Earl.
Shout out to Earl.
Hey, Earl.
Solar eclipse is what we're getting next month. A lunar eclipse is when the full moon enters Earth's shadow and it looks dark red.
Oh yeah, that's the
when
cool one, right?
Yeah, when we're casting a shadow on the moon, it's all darky red.
Dark side of the moon.
There we go. All right.
This has to be
wrong.
This has to be like a Pink Floyd named episode, because I was actually oh god, another guy from Toronto.
Call it Twin Floyd.
Twin Floyds. Yes, I like that. I was like, we can't have it like another Toronto show title, because that's just lame. Like, what is it like? It's like Toronto month, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Jules is just like,
I didn't do that on purpose. It was just the way things lined up.
Calling up all his friends. Come on the show.
Yeah.
And all I'm trying to do is get Gunship on here, and there's just no space for him.
Maybe if they move to Toronto, we might have them on. But till then, yeah.
All right, indeed. I think we should play another song, because I love this vibe.
I love this track, and like I said earlier, this song, it screams George Michael to me, because there's something about the style of the melody. Actually, most of the album, it's a mix of like slow jam Michael Jackson or George Michael mixed with, I guess, Pinky Floyd, maybe a little bit.
Pinky Floyd.
But this song, Current Sky, it sounds a lot to me like One More Try. It's got that melancholic vibe. So tell us about it.
Well, yeah, man, that's exactly it. It's very melancholic. One of the brutal things that happened in life was in the last several years, and there was so many for everybody, but just on a more personal level. Dear friend of mine, childhood friend who I grew up with, and throughout my teenage years, spent all my time with him. He passed away in 2020. Yeah, late 2020.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, hey, that's life. Death's part of it. So but it hurt bad. So that was me trying to I don't know, sort it out in my brain a little bit.
Put the feelings out in words and music.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was a hard one. I wasn't really dealing with it perfectly well. But I did find out that the cliche is actually real. Through writing about it and singing about it and yelling about it, I felt a hell of a lot better, and I kind of just put some things to rest in my mind, and it was a bit of a send off to a dear friend, and so that's the essence of it. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Music
awesome.
is therapy, for sure.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
This is
Yeah.
an amazing song to pay tribute to him.
Well, thank you.
All right.
All
Shall we
right.
play it, Dennis?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, from the album In Place of Power, available on Business Casual Records. This is Full Eclipse with Current Sky right here on Night Ride FM.
In a broken sky, your cloud moved on, and all your cares, they came along, and I almost saw your point of view was the last I saw of the whole of you. You push too much. In slow dreams you learn. The more that you push, the slower they turn, turn, turn. In the sky you wait. Ooh, for the current news.
And that was Current Sky by Full Eclipse. And we were talking a little bit off the air about another artist that this reminds me of. I know, Jules, you're going with George Michael.
George Michael, yeah. I'm going with George Michael.
I'm going with late David Bowie on the Black Star album. And I'm going with like that very saxophony kind of Lazarus kind of track with that Bowie vocal. And I know that you were mentioning the fact that when he had passed away and that album, it was pretty macabre to say the least. I know he was just such an amazing influence on so much. I wasn't a huge Bowie fan back in the day, but the minute he came out, and for me, the moment I really discovered Bowie was when he did a soundtrack for a game by Quantic Dream, and it was called what the hell was it called? Omicron. It was called Omicron, and it was a very sci-fi. It was like one of the early open world games where you can kind of go anywhere and talk to anybody. And
sure it's not the Nomad Soul? Oh no,
Omicron,
it's called Omicron, the
Nomad Soul.
the Nomad Soul.
Yes, he did a performance in the game as himself, in the likeness of himself, and he also played like another major character like towards the later part of the game. He played two parts in that game, and I was just like, David Bowie, I completely had him pinned the wrong way. Like, he was such a cool dude that, you know, he was probably in his 60s, 70s when that game came out, and they just completely embraced the medium. Like, you know, because
he's the opposite of me in that regard. Like, whereas I'm kind of floundering, trying to keep up with the tech, that guy embraced it all and just did such great things with electronic music.
Mike's like VST. I don't have any VSTs. What's a VST?
Right, and like David Bowie's getting motion
Bowie, he can tell you all about VSTs, and man, that guy embraced technology too.
David Bowie's like, how many vertices are in my rendering tonight?
yeah, he puts me to shame. Oh, what a great artist! I miss that guy.
And I think that the theory does hold true. That I feel like I'm a big, you know, alternate universe guy, and if you listen to this show, if you listen to earlier shows, like, we're always going into alternate dimensions and universes and stuff like that. I just dig it.
That's awesome.
But
is that Constellation show again?
The Constellation show, like, I just really dig the whole alternate I had a point at one point, but I don't know, I just completely lost my train of thought. Although, that's what I was going to say. David Bowie, when he passed, like, I feel like something just happened. Like, the world kind of slipped into this, like, Schrodinger's cat kind of thing where, like, you know, forks or, you know, then COVID happened, and then, you know, Prince was another one. When Prince, it was a 1-2 punch. Like, I think Bowie died, and then Prince died. But like it was January. This is creepy. It was like January 6th, 2016 is when David Bowie, I could be off by like a week, but I feel like it was like early January 2016. You can Google it or just take my word for it.
2016 is when we had a lot of celebrities go.
Yeah.
I remember everybody was like, what the hell is going on with this year?
The world shifted, and then now we're in a place where, you know, some weird stuff's happening, man. All these coronas and, you know, people, but, you know, it is what it is. We're in a direction, and we're still living and breathing and living life and making awesome music and listening to awesome tunes and having conversations and doing the best we can. But it was so interesting to see how you work through so many things over all these years to arrive at the album that you came out with, and to have it be such on the nose, I think. Like, if you do listen to it, I haven't dug too deep into like the lyrics and the meanings behind the songs, but I've heard the album enough times to say, like, you really kind of tapped into the past 3 or 4 years, like just the stuff that has been going on. And kudos to another great full Eclipse album. Go and buy this album. We want to just kind of mention where you can find the album, and this is another interesting, probably maybe this will be our parting little thing to chew on. What's up with the Vaporwave label, man?
Yeah. Well,
business casual. Let's talk about that.
Well, yeah. So Bart Graft is. I'm a big fan of his music, and I really like the guy.
He's
as a
Irish,
person.
right?
Yeah, he is. He's. I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it's Tipperary. I think is the name of the place he's from. But anyway, great guy, great artist, and he presented some music in album format on Business Casual, and it was a great album. But that was my first experience with that label, and it was a great album. And I noticed that there was a cassette. So cool, he's got a physical medium. That's awesome. And there was also a lot of like people that were picking it up, and there was a pretty large audience. So I thought, man, that's awesome. I would love to have some of my music on a physical medium, and I'd like to expose my music to kind of a different audience, or just broaden the horizons a little bit. So I figured I'd shoot the label boss, I think his name's Jay-Z, John. I'd shoot him some demos and see if he was interested in carrying my album, and he said yes.
Wow,
and
that's great.
And despite the fact that, as you say, that like it's very much a kind of a more future funk or vaporwave,
I love it.
Oriented, label.
I'm a big fan of that stuff as well. Future funk.
Everybody pretty much knows who you are too. I got to bring this up. I remember when I started in the synthwave scene, and I started my Twitter account, and I went balls out following anybody and everybody who made anything with a synthesizer. And I remember, Mike, full Eclipse, you were followed and following pretty much everyone.
Oh yeah,
already.
I jumped off their wagon pretty hard for sure, and I was like very. It was like a free love moment for me. It was like just like give and take and receive and give more and take more, and it was a real like free love thing for me. Like, and then I found out Twitter is kind of a sketchy place.
The honeymoon is over.
And I was following some people I really didn't want to be associated with,
Yeah. So you know what?
There's a lot more neo-Nazis out there than I assumed, and I was very naive to assume.
You're like,
you know
free
what?
love, man.
When when Threads added GIF support, I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. It's
Internet's
very
a scary
interesting.
Place.
It was that's what social media was like that though. Back in the day, it's like, oh, this is great. I can get my family, and I can talk with my family and see people I haven't talked to, and
express yourself in a very personal manner because everyone's cool.
Yeah, we stopped doing that a long time ago.
Oh yeah, no.
And then you find some angry people out there.
I'm disillusioned. That's for sure.
It's still fun.
Speaking of socials,
yes,
we're gonna wrap this up. But first, let's talk about where can we find Full Eclipse? Because I think you're pretty much on every social.
Yes.
Site. You're on
in
Threads,
some capacity,
Instagram,
What's
Facebook.
your
Twitter.
go-to? What's your go-to poison? Twitter.
Honestly, I really
Threads?
enjoy Instagram. Maybe you wouldn't know it from this rambling interview, but I'm typically not a man of a lot of words, especially when it comes to self-promotion. So I like to kind of express Full Eclipse's like new stuff, mostly through like an image and a little blurb. And Instagram really allows that. So I love Instagram personally. It's a really good medium for what I like to do and how I like to operate comfortably in my self-promotional capacity. So that would be it. I also Twitter, and I don't want to call it by its new name because I got some reservations, but I still frequent that place as much as I can stand, and but I would say that Instagram and Bandcamp are great places for you to just stay tuned for my stuff. What's coming on down the pipeline.
I've been posting a link for the album in the chat. So this new album, In Place of Power, you can find it at Business Casual's Bandcamp page, which is businesscasual87.bandcamp.com. Now, you yourself have your own Bandcamp page, of course, which is fulleclipse.bandcamp.com.
That's right. Yeah.
And
I think.
that's where you have links for the shirts.
Yes.
Your fresh new Full Eclipse shirts.
Oh yeah.
Of which I'm wearing one right now.
Oh, nice. I'm glad to hear it, man. Cheers to you. Thank you. Thanks for the support, man.
Thank you.
I just got a 3-day-old
I
T-shirt.
I hope it's comfortable and feels good on
There you go, Dennis. Dennis is like, why is he picking these people to come on the show?
Yeah, it's all about the T-shirts,
It's a
man.
bribe, Dennis. I got a
it's like-
T-shirt.
That's
God
it.
damn it.
He gets paid in T-shirts.
T-shirt number 241.
Well, I talked about how for me, Twitter was originally kind of like a free love thing. Well, now it's kind of T-shirts. I'm giving them away left, right, and center. So Dennis, send me your address and I'll give you a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be an honor.
You might get it in time for
You
the
can quote me on that. Yep.
Full Eclipse.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
right
God!
on.
If I wear that Full Eclipse
dude.
T-shirt during the Full Eclipse while listening to Full Eclipse,
Yes,
Wow.
there,
You like
there
the
will
great
be a
conjunction.
there will be a singularity.
there will
Absolutely,
be. I
yeah.
will maybe we'll slip back into the universe where Bowie's still alive. I don't know. Like we'll,
Oh, man.
All right.
we'll figure.
So is there any other
Slip into
sites
some dimension.
we missed to find Full Eclipse?
Any secret sites?
Offhand. No secret sites. I'm pretty transparent. No, I think you got most of the big ones. SoundCloud is like some people
that's still
debate
there.
its relevancy. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people debate its relevancy, but I usually put some stuff on it, like from every new release I have, and for some reason, maybe it's just nostalgia, but I still have some love for that place. That
You know
platform.
what? Once in a while, I pop back into SoundCloud because I try to follow artists on all their various sites, right? So Bandcamp, Spotify, SoundCloud, and all the social medias. And I always feel bad because I go to SoundCloud and I see there's messages waiting from like 2 years ago that I haven't read.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it happens. There's so many things out there. It's hard to keep tabs. But
totally.
most importantly, if you want to go and check out the new album or any of Full Eclipse's album, you can go right to Business Casual's Bandcamp and also throw them. They got the whole
You know what?
discography for
go to
pennies.
Yeah, go to fulleclipse.bandcamp.com. First of all, you'll see the shirts listed right
Yeah.
away. For
Get
In Place
yourself a
Power.
t-shirt.
And then you've got links in there for the cassettes and digital of the
Yep,
album,
yep.
which takes you to the Business Casual page.
Drop them
yeah.
a 20, a fresh 20, and you pick up the whole discography.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a
And
great
a lot of
deal.
vaporwave and a lot of future funk. And
By the way, Craig Packman wants me to tell you. He says hi.
Oh, hey, Craig.
He's working, driving around.
That's
doing
awesome.
his-
I've
doing
been
his stuff.
connecting a little more with Craig recently, and it's been a
yes.
pleasure.
Craig's great.
Cheers to you, man.
He's
Drive
awesome.
safe
He's
and have a
amazing.
great night. Yeah.
And Bending Grid wants to know if you're on OnlyFans yet.
No, not yet. That's my next bold step. I'm
That's
just trying to get.
That's a different kind of moon.
that is
It is, yes, that is a different kind of moon, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a very full one, that's for sure.
Oh. All right. You know what? We're gonna let you get on with your evening. But is there anything you wanted to say? Anybody you want to shout out? I know the last track we heard, the current sky, the sax was Michael Stewart.
Yes,
So shout out to him for awesome work on
yeah.
all your collabs.
a local master, absolutely.
But anyone else I'm missing? Anybody you want to shout out? Any?
Yeah, you know,
plugs you
like,
wanna do?
just really quick. My good buddy Matt goes by MRV. Those are his initials. He did the artwork for the album.
Oh, nice.
And it's pretty cool. It's very it's full of metaphor and I don't know, all kinds of. It's steeped in imagery and symbolism. I love it. So he did that. So shout out to him. My girlfriend Irene, who has done a couple of the album arts for a couple of my releases. So shout out to her. And also a shout out to Mike Mendoza, who just had a baby. He's
Yes.
of course the label boss
Mike.
at Retro Promenade.
Retro Promenade. Yep.
Without which I probably never would have gotten so involved with synth
Ooh-ha.
We love Hoo Ha. He's our buddy.
he's great. He's an absolute gem. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Dude,
And then,
yeah.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Mike George, who was the label boss at 30th Floor Records. That's kind of a defunct label. They haven't been doing much in the last several years, but that's because Mike also had a baby, a couple of babies actually, and a great guy. He kind of inspired me to pick up my synths and get recording, and so cheers to him too. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm done.
Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my dog.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna want to thank you for coming on the show. Don't disconnect yet. We'll say bye bye to you behind the next song.
No rush.
But
I'm happy to be here.
it was been a long time coming. We're so glad you joined us on the show, and
So happy to be
congratulations
here.
on the album, man. It's awesome.
Thank you guys very much. I'm glad it's out there. Glad you like it. Thanks so much for showcasing some of it and chatting with me tonight. It was great.
We really appreciate you coming on, of course. All right, Jules, what do we have lined up here? You did a little switcheroo.
I jiggled the order around on you,
You jiggled
Dennis.
the handle a little bit.
Because Aisle 9 is in the IRC chat.
Oh,
and
look at that.
He's in the UK, so I figured we had his track at the end of the show. I moved it up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
got to hear some Aisle 9. I love this new song.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. So UK artist Aisle 9 invites you to imagine a couple sitting in their camper van on the beach enjoying a sunset while the reality of the world around them crumbles.
Ooh,
This is Aisle 9
poetic.
with Our Sun-Kissed Dreams right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was our Sun-Kissed Dreams by Aisle 9, and they are in the IRC. So if you are around, hop in the IRC, say hi, and tell them how awesome that track was, because it was nice and smooth.
It's just past 2 a.m. in the UK, so Aisle 9, I don't know how he's awake, but
God bless you, man. That's you know, I just find it amazing every single time. I don't know what it is, but it's one of them things where people listen to this show, like, it could be 5 a.m. sometimes, and like I'm just, I don't know if we deserve to have people stay up all night just to hear our show, but it certainly is a really nice thing, a nice gesture. Most people just go to bed, and you don't have to. Just check out the podcast or on, all the other things. Spotify.
That's right.
Deezer. Are we on
Spotify.
Deezer? I don't know if we're on Deezer though.
I don't know.
Nobody goes on Deezer.
You're the one with
anyway.
the RSS feed.
Yeah, it goes everywhere, out to the masses. Let's do some touring and events. Yes.
Sure. Or do you want to do another song? Let's do another song.
You know what? Let's do another song.
Yeah, we've got 4 songs to go.
We do.
All right.
We're gonna do that.
So this one goes out to Dysterian, his fellow Polish artist, Cassetter.
Yeah.
Not only contributed to the recent Bunny X album, but he's dropped a new single as well. This is Cassetter with Overdose, right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Overdose by Cassetter. Yeah. All right, so we have some touring and events.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You want to kick it off, or shall I?
I think you should kick it off because I get a
Right.
bug in my throat and I'm going to try to cough this thing out. Take it
All
away,
right.
Jules.
Starting tomorrow, March 13th to the 19th, Cannons is doing their Heartbeat Highway tour in Europe, and they're joined by Nina and Radio Wolf.
Very nice.
And oh, by the way, today is Radio Wolf's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Radio
Make
Wolf.
sure if you're on the socials, wish him a happy birthday.
Maybe Nino sing him a little happy birthday,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. President.
I'm sure Nina will.
We have March 15th. We have Wayland's, and we have FM Attack at that show, and that's in Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah, I heard it was sold out. So,
Oh, look at that.
yeah.
I mean, it is FM Attack, so, you know.
Well, yeah. Let's see, March 15th to April 13th, it's the 10th anniversary tour of Empathy Test.
Oh,
They're going to
very
be
good.
doing a tour through Europe, and they're going to have support from a band called Black Nail Cabaret and our friends Lucy Dreams at some of the locations,
Yeah.
like London especially.
Very good, very good. We have March 18th. We have the Twilight Cafe and Bar. We have Watch Out for Snakes, Moon Talk, the Alphabet Zero, and Cirrhosis Dream.
Cersei's Dream. It's Irish.
Irish. That's in Portland, USA, of the USA variety.
Let's see, March 29th, the Devil Dance, which features North, Innsbruck, Swear Machine, and the Trapezoids, and that's going down in Minneapolis, USA.
All right, April 13th, we have VHS Cyber Night, Volume 3 with Dandroid, Kai Steele, and Gridscape. That is in Budapest, Hungary.
Yeah. And let's see, April 18th, at the Substation, Cara and Zoe Lee's doing a DJ set again with Holy Water, VHS Celebs, and User.
All right, very good. And I think I just jumped around here. Oh, there we go. April 24th to 28th, we have Neotropolis. This is the one I want to go to, Jules. I think everyone needs to get out to the Mojave Desert to see Starcadian, Street Cleaner, Megatronics, Knight Rider 87, Power Rob, Starfarer, and VHS Celebs.
Yes.
It is
What a lineup.
indeed a lineup. Go check that out in the desert.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna just mention a couple of new additions.
All right.
One, because I love this band. April 24th, Dark Wave Night, which is going down in Washington, D.C. That's gonna feature 2D Cat,
Oh,
as well as Alice and the Neurofarm. And one we just announced, and I'm excited for this, Dennis, May 2nd to May 12th.
oh yeah.
Tour.exe.
Oh my God.
Spread the code.
Oh my God.
Master Boot Records coming
Yes.
across the pond to the USA and Canada.
This is going to be sick. I am totally got to get myself. I think it's a Philly show, so I think it's going to be at the Fillmore.
Well, there's one
Philly.
in Brooklyn, one in Philly.
Brooklyn, Philly. Are you getting one in Toronto?
Oh, yeah.
all the way up north.
There's one in Montreal. There's one in Toronto. Let's see. There's Battleboro, Vermont. And there's Columbus, Ohio, Louisville,
That's going to be
Kentucky,
sick.
Youngstown.
He uses a live
Ohio,
drummer. NBR, you know him, you love him.
Cambridge, and I tagged a couple of people on the West Coast because NBR was like, "Hey, if you want us in other locations," so I tagged Yes Music Productions, who works with Karin a lot.
Yeah.
Yes Music's always doing stuff in Seattle.
Awesome.
And I also tagged the folks out in Colorado, Denver, Outrun Denver, see if they could get them. But yeah, Master Boot Record. I'm putting the concert link in the chat because, as everything with NBR, I just love their website.
Of course.
And you can get all the links to the tickets right in there. So yeah, that's the one I wanted to mention.
Yeah, and how can they find out about all of the events that we have, the Synthwave events? What can they do?
Oh, well, if you just go to Google and type Synthwave events in the search,
It's that
the first
easy?
link, the first link that pops up is the Night Ride FM Synthwave events blog entry, where we
That's it.
keep this stuff up to date.
Incredible. All right, so we're going to play another track here, I believe. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Then we have some more something-somethings, and then some more something-somethings. So in the meantime, what do we got here?
All right, California artist Jonatron, who is part of the Girlfriend Records troupe, has released a new single, and they've kindly submitted it for us to play. Let's remind everyone, if you're an artist and you want your music played on Night Ride, either added to the 24/7, rotating roster of music, or played on one of our shows like Karen's show or our show. Just go to submit.nightride.fm and send us a tune.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So back to Jonathan. This single, it's part of his upcoming album, whose tracks will be named after famous computer worms, such as the one, especially this one. It was developed by the US and Israeli governments to hamper the Iranian nuclear program. This is Jonathan with Stuxnet, right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Jonathan with Stuxnet.
Stuxnet. I can't wait to see what other computer worm track names he's going to come up with on his album.
Computer earworms. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, it was very good, very good. Now we have two more tracks. Before we do, we're gonna get a little something.
Yeah, I want to do a shout out to Ben Grid, who's in the chat.
Yeah.
Right now, the IRC chat. Ben Grid, an amazing producer. He has an album coming out May 3rd.
Indeed.
You can pre-order it right now at benningrid.bandcamp.com. He's going balls out to the wall with the promotion and the production on this. He doesn't half-ass things. And shout out to, because there's 3 tracks available right now. One of them features Karen Zoe Lee on it.
That's right, yeah. So
In Love with an Android.
It's
Zen Onan and Karen Zoe Lee.
That track is a banger as well.
Yes.
So
shout out to Benningrid. Head over to benningrid.bandcamp.com and snap up this album.
Snatch it up.
Like 20 tracks on it.
Yeah, you definitely going to get your money's worth. There's lots to dive into. So go check that out. And Mr. Jules, what else do we have here?
Speaking of artists whose name starts with B.
Yeah.
How's that for a...
That was the king of the segues right there.
Yes, the Russian artist Bronster Bridge released a new album called Videoland, which is an homage to the good old days of VHS movies at home on your wood-paneled equipment and wood-paneled walls.
I feel seen.
Yeah. This is Bronster Bridge with Down the Coastline right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Bronster Bridge with Down the Coastline.
Mm-hmm.
Always good stuff.
Bronster Bridge is an amazing artist.
Totally.
Yep. Quick shout out to Jack Attack VHS, who's in the IRC chat.
Very good. Yeah, Jack Attack, always coming around the IRC.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for tuning in. This is the end of our show, so now we got to just dive into some of our closing things like Patreon. We have a new Patreon for Night Ride FM, do we?
Yes, we do.
Very good.
Jesse Rhodes, new Patreon.
Shout out to Jesse
If
Rhodes.
you want to support nightride.fm, head to patreon.com/nightride.fm. Because it costs a little money to keep these servers spitting out 24/7 music.
Oh yeah,
like 6-7 different channels too. There's Chill Wave and Space Wave and an 80s guy, and
Data
this
wave
wave, and that wave,
hoo-ha
and data
wave.
yeah, synth wave, and
synthwave.
And of course the radio shows. Karin's show, we've got Embryonic show.
Yeah, we have some good shows.
Oh yeah,
pretty good stuff.
Our
show's pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, it's all right. you can support Dennis and I by going to thestateofsynth.com, and the top right, I think there's a buy us a beer.
Buy us a beer. That's all we ask.
Well, that'll help pay for our Zencaster membership.
Or if you're at a show, buy us a beer, or we'll buy you a beer. We'll buy each other beers. It'll cancel each other out.
Yeah.
But, it's not really about the money. It's about the love for what we do. But, hey, every now and then, little rewards.
Hey, there's other benefits on thestateofsynth.com. You can see upcoming artists. You can get all our episodes and the show notes, our little scripts that we are reading off in the background here.
Yes, horribly read by me. And, you get to find out. You can also get all the songs itemized as well for all the stuff that we play on the show. So, one more thing we want to tell you about a super awesome 80s / synthwave radio station that is in the land down under. Kiwiland Retro Hit Radio. Playback is every Sunday at 10 p.m. That is the playback of this show that you are listening to live.
Syndicated, like
we
I'm
are
putting a little air quotes. Syndicated.
Yeah.
And Retro Hit Radio, they're based out of New Zealand. And of course, like Night Ride, they play 24/7 music. And you can find them at retrohitradio.co.nz.
Absolutely. And super sweet people, just awesome crew over there.
Yeah.
They were repping some of the State of Synth on the Midnight Show when they went to the Midnight Show.
I saw that. That was so cool.
Super cool. Thank you so much for all the support and just supporting our music and getting it out there to the other side of the world, because you guys are awesome over there.
I mean, if it weren't for them, our show the internet wouldn't reach that far.
Yeah, we wouldn't be. It's true. They only have so much wire they can lay down. But
Z ran like cable under the ocean, and it only went this far.
Yeah, only so far. But now it goes all the way to Australia and Kiwiland and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for all the support, and to all our listeners out there, thank you for all the years of support. Yeah. We have more shows. This is only episode 7. We do about 15, so we have a lot of really awesome guests lined up. And
man, do we have a wish list of guests? It's somehow
long.
This last season we were like, who are we gonna find to fill in these last 5 episodes? And now we've got 30, 40 guests on our wish list. Apologies
to anybody that I recently reached out to and said, yes, we would like to. We absolutely have you down, but show week. It's
show week. It's slow going.
It is a slow go.
But speaking of, we want to thank our guest, Full Eclipse,
who
joined us earlier tonight.
Absolutely,
that was amazing. Once again, another feather in our cap.
Yeah, awesome. I've been listening to his stuff ever since the beginning of my synthwave journey, and always just great to hear his music, because I'm a big Floyd fan and a big Twin Peaks fan, and he seems to be right in that wheelhouse. So
somehow I just know you're gonna name this episode something something Floydy.
It's gotta be. We'll see what shakes out.
I'm telling you, Twin Floyds or something.
The Twin Floyds, yes. All right.
Now I believe I don't see a show next week.
Right. We are taking a 1 week off hiatus while we do our patchwork and rewire our something or others, fix the flux capacitor.
Track maintenance.
Yes, track maintenance.
Right.
And
we'll be back the week after with guest Mark Matthews, I believe.
Yes, this guy's incredible producer. Really good, does a lot of cool tutorials and stuff like that on all the shows. Anyway, yada yada yada. Go to the website, support us, like us. We love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Yes, we're gonna play you out with the latest track from German artists Nina and Radio Wolf, who are not only on a roll producing music like the Scala Hearts album with Ricky Wilde, but they're also touring with Cannons, as we said earlier. That starts tomorrow in Europe. They're also playing at Hotline Bristol, which is already lining up artists like Taurus 1984 and Dana Jean Phoenix and others. And they're also playing at various other places in the UK. So they're definitely keeping busy, and somehow they managed to release this new single.
Yeah.
This is Nina and Radio Wolf with My Dark. From all of us here at Night Ride FM, have a great night.
We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks a lot for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Heavy pain in you, my cruel mind